baffles do. Also what we have to do to make it work, because it doesn't have all the evap stuff, so that will get removed, but I'll show you guys here. Alright, so first things first, the tank looks great, nice finish and everything. We'll talk about differences here first. Up here we only have the port here versus the stock one has two. That's for the evap stuff. This one's the only one that we'll use, and I'll talk a little bit here what happens to this line here. Another thing is right by the filler neck on this one, there's nothing there. And if we look on the stock one, there's this line here. That line actually goes to up by the filler neck. Like I said, we'll talk about that, what happens with that and that. Inside here, I was originally going to run this tank. As you can see, there's no type of baffling, so that could definitely be an issue when accelerating or cornering. And obviously you run lean, don't want that. That's where the old top hat would sit on for the fuel pump, so it has like a little cup that it sits around. I'll show you guys here, right here. So it's not completely, stock, it does have some type of fuel in there, but it's still not ideal. This is all getting tossed, we don't need that. But now let's look at the other one, which is the main reason that we got it. You guys can see down here where the fuel pump actually sits. Well, fuel pumps, because it's dual pumps. It's actually enclosed to prevent slosh, and it keeps some fuel in there while you're cornering or accelerating. See, that's a tube that gas gets in there to level. This is the top hat that we're going to be running right here. There's dual pumps. I thought they were 340s, but I believe they're 400s or 450s. Not exactly sure, but plenty of fuel. Definitely won't have an issue there. And this is the Division X top hat, which is pretty sick unit here. Comes all pre-wired. You just basically plug in. All you have to wire in is a ground, which you just ground it off to the top hat, and fuel level sender. Other than that, that goes along with their harness, which is already installed in the car, but we went with Cobra style fuel tank just because of that baffle there. So, and like I said, I'll talk in a little bit here about what happens to that port there, and then the one on the side. Back to this thing. Like I said earlier, we now only have one port here, and we don't have that hole there. The only thing we do, swap that grommet over for the filler neck, remove this from here. Obviously my dumbass broke it. It was brittle, but still should have probably been able to get it out. So you take the grommet out, put it in here, and this you actually have to gut it. It's the check valve, but you actually have to take the insides out, which is this here and a little ball, because the orifice on it's like probably a millimeter, which it does not vent enough. Then you would end up having issues when you're filling up. So once you get that, I'll have to buy a new one, whatever. You run the stock elbow that comes down here, and you just loop a hose around the tank back up by the filler neck, and you just vent it. You put a small filter on it and vent it out. That way, when you're filling up, you can vent, and also when you're driving it, it won't create vacuum and suck your tank closed. So other than that, it's pretty much all you do. Obviously, you have to remove all your evap stuff, unless you want to drill a hole here to put this and all the lines. I got all the stock evap stuff, stock fuel line, all out, so that was a plan anyways. There's the evap stuff that goes on top of the tank, which we no longer need, so that's garbage. And like I said, we'll be running this, doing 10 AN line and fittings. And since we're doing a return style, we're running a -6 return line. But my main thing was that baffle. You know, it's the only way to go. Don't want to starve out of fuel if you're taking a corner or accelerating. So